why the Minnesota Vikings will win the NFC North Division this season. Some may say this is a very bold statement, with the Green Bay Packers winning the NFC North 5 out of the last 6 years, but I see otherwise. The Vikings are coming off an 8-8 season where they started off the season 5-0 before key injuries to the offensive line and an injury to Adrian Peterson kept him out for most of the season. And with this, the 8-8 season, the Vikings can only exceed that record and do better, with key free agents coming to the Minnesota Vikings, such as running back Latavius Murray from Oakland, who is kind of a pounder. He could catch the ball in the backfield, and they had a great offense in Oakland for him. So he's a key pickup to start at running back for the Vikings. And the Vikings also added more depth to the offensive line, signing Riley Relief from the Lions and adding Mike Rimmers, who was a former Viking and who came from the Panthers. And with this adds more depth to the offensive line position, whether Bridgewater is healthy to play or Sam Bradford is, or if Sam Bradford's going to start. This adds more depth to the offensive line, where last year we seen many signs of the injuries to the offensive line where we just threw people in there, and this hurt the team a lot because Sam Bradford got sacked too many times. He had to throw the ball away and got key interceptions or got fumbles because there was no offensive line and there was no running game. So it was basically just Sam Bradford back there with no offensive line and no running game to help out. And so with these key pickups with Latavius Murray and the two guys from the offensive line, this also helps. And also in the draft, adding a running back, Dalvin Cook, who is also a type of running back we've seen at Florida State, who is a pounder, who is a guy that can catch the ball in the backfield, who will run you over, and who is a speed guy in the open. And he's just a playmaker at the running back position. And adding Murray and Cook to the running back game and losing Adrian Peterson, I think it's still an upgrade with those two in the backfield. And also, the Vikings are returning the third best defense in the league, and they're only losing linebacker Chad Greenway to retirement and cornerback Captain Motherland. So it's still a great defense that's coming back, especially in the secondary with Harrison Smith at safety and cornerback Xavier Rhodes leading the cornerback core. And also up front with Sharif Floyd getting healthy and Brian Robertson. So those are key pieces to the Minnesota Vikings defense, who are also returning. But the team that stands in the Vikings' way is the Packers, with that bad man, Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Aaron Rodgers is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he has wide receivers like Randall Cobb, Jordy Nelson, and they added free agent Martellus Bennett from the Super Bowl champion Patriots. But where's the Packers running game? Please tell me. They just released Christian Michael, who was doing all right in Seattle, but he really wasn't a big deal in Green Bay. And so the running backs start with Ty Montgomery, and basically the Packers picked up 3 running backs in the draft, with a running back from BYU, UTEP, and Utah State. So are you trying to tell me that Ty Montgomery and these 3 rookies are going to be the running backs of the future for the Packers and lead them to a division championship and maybe to a Super Bowl? I don't think that's correct. Well, Ty Montgomery is basically a speed type of wide receiver. He's not even a running back. He showed some spurts at the running back position when they needed him, but he really isn't all that. He's a small dude, and he can't take hits like a running back can. So with this is one of the big keys that hurts the Packers is the running game. Even though they have a strong passing game, the running game is not there. So you can put 5 deep and have them guard all the wide receivers because they're most likely not going to run the ball. And the Packers' defense last year was terrible. The defense ranked 21st in the league last year, and they tried to get some young talent in the draft, starting off with cornerback Kevin King from Washington. But it shows that he's still a rookie. He still has to prove himself. And with this defense having so many key spots open and being 21st ranked, they still have a lot to do on defense to make them an elite defense and lead them to an NFC North Championship rather than just like the Super Bowl. So with this, the Vikings and the Packers last season, both teams split the season series 1-1, with the Vikings winning week 2 17-14 and the Packers winning 38-25 in week 16. And talking about the Packers running game, the Vikings held the Packers to 123 rushing yards in both games. The only thing that hurt the Vikings in this week 16 loss is Aaron Rodgers throwing for over 300 yards with 4 touchdowns. So the key is to stop Aaron Rodgers. And with the Vikings having a healthy team and either Sam Bradford or Bridgewater playing up to the expectations, as Bradford being the first overall pick and Bridgewater being our so-called franchise quarterback, if one of them can lead the team, this will help the Vikings win the NFC North title and head on to the playoffs and try to give the Vikings a Super Bowl.